That's something I need to ask. I mean, she is as famous as you are. I mean, she's got a super successful career in her own right. But for her to take time out and go with you for tours, take the World Cup, take the Australia tour, it must be hard. I mean, and at the same time, from your standpoint, you know, it's a serious commitment at one level that she's taking so much time. Can you talk about that? I mean, because she's actually doing, I don't want to use the word sacrifice, but she could have done her career even at those times.
Look, she obviously, she's someone who's always maintained her integrity. She's always been a person who does the right thing. And when it comes to our relationship, her taking time to come and see me or me taking time to go and see her, it's an understanding. It's not something that is an effort for either of us. She understands, when she comes on tour, and so much has been said about her and so much comes out about her. You have to understand that she's someone who's achieved success at a very high level. So
that's irrespective of you, to be honest. I mean, she has independently achieved success.
She was a superstar,
exactly,
even when we met. So she was very successful in her own career. And when these things come out of protocols not being followed and rules being broken, it is not in her nature to do something like that, because she understands my profession, I understand her profession, and either of us don't interfere in it. And the value system that she has and her beliefs and the nature she has, it won't allow her to go against the rules or go against protocols. So I don't know why people have wanted to sensationalize stories by taking her name, because she's a soft target, she's known. And after a while, she'd been ignoring it for a while. We both had been ignoring it for a while.
But how long can you ignore? Because,
Look, you initially think that, yeah, maybe, you laugh it off. Actually, some of the things that come out are really funny as well. I mean, you're sitting there and thinking, how can people get to these conclusions without even wanting to understand facts and without actually checking with anyone? When the lies are spoken so much all around, they start becoming truth. So you need to speak up at some stage, and that's exactly what happened recently. So I think it probably wouldn't stop even now, but it's important for you to put out there or explain to people what the truth is. And people actually in this day and age don't bother finding out the truth when someone's a soft target like her, because when you take her name, you want to sensationalize a story, and we don't get hurt by it, but you obviously need to explain to people what the truth is.
See, when you say you don't get hurt by it, I'll push it one more. At one level, you are perhaps doing what nobody has done. I mean, to put it on record, Virat Kohli has not had a cheat day in the last 4 years. And why is he doing it? He's doing it for India. Let's face facts. At the same time, that same person is being doubted, and people write a lot of rubbish on social media and trolls. It can't be that you don't feel hurt. I mean, it can't be that you are immune to what is being said. I mean, how do you deal with such trolls? Or do you have to sort of cocoon yourself and be protective of your own space?
Look, it's not that you choose to look at things in a certain way, or you don't choose to look at things in a certain way. When we look at an issue happening, like I just mentioned, that you ignore it for a long time, but we are in positions where we get asked these things.
Yes.
So when something is said just as a joke, mazak ke liye bol diya, those things don't become serious. Those things don't become questions for people to ask you. That's why you need to clarify your stand, because once you don't speak up and your perception is created, that becomes truth for people, because they feel like, oh,
he's not responding.
He or she is not responding, and that's it. This is the truth. They are not wanting to speak about it. So you need to find a balance of letting people know what the actual facts are, and then they can choose to still do the things that have been happening, or actually look at the reality saying, yeah, these people have not spoken for so long, but they are now. Maybe what's been said and written is not true, which is the fact. I mean, there were things spoken of she getting special ticket preferences and all the. Honestly, we have bought tickets.
I know that.
We have bought tickets. She has organized her own travel. so that she doesn't, you know, break any kind of protocol. It's as I said, it's not in her to even think of doing something like that, because she respects my profession, I respect hers. And as I said, there is no interference. There was one thing that said she's coming to team meetings. I mean, that was the most baffling thing. When we heard that, we actually laughed so hard that, you know, even if it's not allowed, the way she is, the kind of person she is, she would not in her wildest dreams think of, you know, wanting to say something like that. Even like a team meeting is meant for only team members. But so many articles came out and these things were sensationalized in a way that people start believing, ha, ye hota hai. And what do? You handle it for a while, but you have to speak up saying, guys.
To say that selectors were bringing cups of tea, etc., was, you know, frankly, from a former cricketer of repute. Have you seen it? The answer is no. Do you want to just get a headline? Maybe the answer is yes. The selectors, for on record, weren't even staying in the same hotel as the Indian cricket team in England. I was covering the World Cup, and I don't think even Anushka met MSK Prasad and the lot and knows the 5 people. I don't know, but you know, such things are such nonsense that.
Yeah, I mean, look, she came for one World Cup game against Sri Lanka, and the family box and the selectors box was different.
Yeah.
And there was no selector in that box. She came for one World Cup game with 2 friends of hers, and there was no selector in that.
Yeah, because you all went to that restaurant in Leeds, Thadavaru, every day. Where
Yes. So that was the game she came to, and that is the only game she came to. So yeah, look, as I said, she's known, she's, you know, been successful at a very high level, and she's achieved that success. So when people take her name, it gets noticed. So you want to mention something about the selectors? Mention something about them, but why join her name, you know? So we are not people who would go out there and start, you know, start these debates with the people everywhere we see them, but you have to put the truth out there. The way the things actually are and the way they are perceived and accepted are very different. So you need to put across what is happening, because you are in those situations yourself.